Yeah, now we're live. Thank God, because it's been a long time I can put this live. But anyways, let me share you guys in small rooms. And in these small rooms, you guys need to choose a leader to lead the conversation and make it flow like better. Let me just a second. What? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait a second. Yeah, here we go. Because people left, so yeah. Just accept the invitation and go to the other room and choose a leader and have a great conversation. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Let's go. Yeah, I think everybody's here now in the main room. So, hey guys, hey girls. I think there are only girls here. So, hey girls, how are you? So, yeah, I think there's someone in the waiting room, I guess. I think she left, but anyways, let's start. I've already introduced myself to you guys. I don't know if you heard about it because the internet was like crazy. But I'm just gonna say a little bit about me. I'm Luana. I'm 17. I'm still a student, and I'm here to help you with your English. I'm not a teacher. I'll just like help you to practice and to talk and literally. And yeah, guys, that's it. I love animals. I have 2 dogs. What else? I love yeah, I'm back.
Voltou.
Freezing again. So
It's horrible. But anyway.
I don't know if the problem is with me, but I'm not seeing anyone. Everybody's frozen.
really, for me, just
Really?
Luana is frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen here.
Oh my God.
But now
Come back.
it's normal.
I have nothing to say.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
No thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that it happens. I'm sorry, guys. Can I put I don't know, Amanda in another room because we are 6 here? Can you go to another room, please? Could you?
Okay.
I'll just give you the invitation. Okay. Thank you. So guys, why people are coming to the main room?
Yeah, I don't
There are
know
just
what-
more and more people. Let me put you on the other room. Wait. I'm sorry for my internet, guys, today. So guys, let's start because we don't have a lot of time. So Thais, could you introduce yourself to the group to start it?
Yes, sure. So my name is Thais. I'm 28 years old. I'm a microbiologist. I am currently living in Canada, and I just moved out from Brazil last month, and I am still adapting, and I think that's it.
That's amazing. I love it. So Leandra, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
Okay, I'm Leandra. I'm from Manaus, Amazonas. I am 37 years old. I am an administrative assistant at the health department. So I have one pet, a female pet. Her name is Chiquinha. What else? I'm single. I don't have children. I think that at the moment.
Luana frozen, but I can go. I'm Lorena, guys. Nice to meet you. I'm from Minas, but now I live in Cabo Frio in Rio. I'm 24. I'm a production engineer, but I work in a technology company. So I think that's it. And you, Fernanda?
Hello guys, my name is Fernanda. I am 17 years old and I live in Carapicuíba, São Paulo, and I'm a student.
Eliane, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. My name is Eliane. I'm 30 years old.
So,
I'm
She doesn't give up.
Should I continue?
Yeah, sure,
Wait
sure.
for her.
Yes, please.
I'm a business process developer in Salesforce. I work in the industry of technology, and I'm from Minas too, but now I'm living in Santa Catarina. That's it.
So should we start the questions or wait for one? I don't know.
I think
I
we
think
can start.
Start.
guys,
Yeah.
I am.
Do you have the questions, guys? I'm not seeing anything on chat.
I have,
Yes,
I put, okay.
Kind of listening you. I won't open my cam because I think it interrupts everything.
I have the questions.
Lorena, do you want to me send you the questions? I think.
Yes, can you send, please,
Yes.
on chat? I'm not seeing anything. Yes, thank you.
And there's some more. Here it is. So can you be the leader, Lorena? Or anyone who wants to?
Maybe anyone read the question and the answer?
Yeah, for me it's okay.
Okay. I'm started too. I don't know. Okay. Today, more girls than even go to school. Do you think that women still continue to face barriers related to education? Yes, I think in now have so more girls in the school, but maybe in the other countries or maybe in Brazil, in the small cities, and still have problems with kids didn't have go to school, and now we know the situation about Afghanistan and the imposition, maybe these words, about the government, the assumed the country and the prohibited the girls and women study in schools and universities. And I think so difficult and hard for these people. And I think in other countries they have the same situation. India, I think that two situation, because I don't know now maybe change the situation, but in the past, girls didn't go to school then. And maybe, I don't know, the situation, the Afghanistan, woman Afghanistan, didn't have your respect for your freedom is difficult. And I saw the internet about these women protesting about your oh my gosh, I forgot, os direitos, seus direitos.
Right.
And I think this is important, but in this situation, I think it's not good because about your life, your security, and the other things.
So in the beginning of the meeting, I was going to show a video of Malala, but my internet was a mess. And I'm sorry, I think now it's way better, but I'm not sure if I just disappeared because of my internet. But yeah, Lorena, can you answer this question? What do you think about it?
I agree. I think especially in traditional cultures, it's more, the impact is more visible, I think, of these barriers that women face every day because of education and the basic rights they don't have. But in Brazil, I think even in a country that we are free to study, we still face some difficulties to start in universities and have the same opportunity as men, not because we don't have the same capacity, but historical. Some girls, they don't have the opportunity to study because they have to help their family to care of their siblings, and they start to work really early, and it's very delicate. I studied in a public university, and it was a engineering engineering school, and even there the amount of women was a really small number. So it's not because we don't want to go to college, we're not encouraged to do it, I think, yet. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you because even though like most girls go to school in Brazil, I think some families, for example, they just think that girls should like stay at home. I don't know, depending on the family. So we people don't overstimulate girls to go to school and to study. They mostly stimulate girls to stay at home, and we still have this type of view in some families. So I think that it's kind of like that in Brazil right now. So Fernanda, what about you? What do you think about it? Could you share your thoughts?
But I think the girls need to be in school because the women are changing the world, and if no does not the change the world for for the other girls and can be win, can be born, and every girls needs to be in school because the education is change the world.
Yeah. What about Eliane? What do you think? Do you agree with everyone? What do you think? Just share what you.
I agree. I agree with all everyone said, especially Leandra. Uh, although today all girls and women have access to education, but I think that mm, some girls doesn't like go to school, and the problem that's it. I think some girls doesn't want to go to school.
Yeah, and like I think there are some factors behind it because like Leandra said, in some countries is a different situation, but if we talk about Brazil, some girls, for example, they like at a very young age they get pregnant or they have some other problems and they leave school. So it's really common and it's really easy for a girl to leave school and leave their education for other stuff than a man, for example, because they are more, like I said, stimulated to study. So that's my view. So Thais, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you all. And something that I was thinking when Leandra started to talk about these different cultures and countries, the thing that I was thinking is even though in Brazil girls are not prohibited to go to the school, we know that they found a lot of barriers to finish their education or even to keep in educational field. For example, I read a news that was talking about a survey that was made in Brazil during this pandemic situation, and they were saying about all the girls that just left the school to take care of their families and their children or siblings and everywhere and everyone in their families. I think the society puts in the woman this whole of taking care since we are girls. So the education just go to the second plan. It's not the first option, you know. And I think we have a lot of barriers regarding girls' education in Brazil.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. And like we're not like we talked about there are countries that are worse than us. Like I was searching about it and I don't remember the names of the countries, but there are some countries that more than half of the population, more than half of the girls, they don't study. So, like more than half, like 70%, 80%. And I was like, really? But it's like huge because they're like only a few, probably the rich ones are probably like, you know, the ones that have the chance because they are not stimulated. We are not stimulated to think. And I was going to show them a video because I couldn't, but she said that like they are afraid of women thinking, like they are really afraid.
Yeah.
In her case, especially because it's actually they're in this situation. They are prohibited to study, so it's different than us. So like they are really afraid of their thoughts. So that's it. So let's go to the second question. Everyone answered, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second question, worldwide, like we talked about, do you believe that the lack of schools, unsafe environments, and conflict zones can affect girls' education? And how should they face it? Fernanda, can you start?
Yes, I can. 1 second.
So while Fernanda is not there, I think Eliane, can you start?
I think it's so difficult to talk about this subject, but I think the girls in culture that have environment like that, unsafe, I don't know if I can say something that hers could do to face it. I think that hers deixa eu eu não consigo lembrar a palavra, mas assim, eu penso que elas temem pela vida delas, né? Então é difícil falar sobre isso.
Yeah, like you're afraid, you know, because like it's a difficult situation. So yeah, I agree with you. Leander, what about you? How do you think girls should face it? Should they fight for it or like I don't know, because it's a difficult situation. Would you do that? Would you fight for education or would you like fight for your life? Because it's really difficult.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult question. But maybe it depends the situation, this country, about the religion, about the customers, and this situation influence the girls study or no study. And now, uh, in the situation about the Afghanistan, about the religion, girls didn't go to school, and I think it's hard for them. And I don't know what kind of what way do you uh, change this situation, because I don't know, it's possible. Maybe do you have a manifestation about this, but your life didn't save, it's not security for these women or these girls, and it is a really a hard situation, and it is about your now for us reflecting about this. But I don't know, uh, I I why what I do for change the situation, or what I uh, yeah, what I do for the situation. Maybe help a girl in Brazil in this I don't know, in your school, and I think the not the opportunity I said, but I now I start the volunteer about the immigrants, and about the learning the Portuguese. And now it's possible for me help the other people, and maybe I help the other girls and women immigrants in Brazil, and they didn't speak Portuguese, because you are immigrant in other country, you don't speak the language, is more difficult. Do you have opportunities about the job, about the have uh, inserting your community and the other things.
That's pretty nice. I love it, actually. It's really nice. So, Lorena, what about you? Uh, what do you think about it? How should girls face it in other countries? Do you think that, I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, I think it's really difficult to to find a solution in this case, because in an extremist government, I don't know, you can't fight against them, because you will risk your own life. So I think I would try to find another ways, like hiding books or something like this, to not stop studying. But it's difficult. I would choose my life and would try to skip. How can I say fugir? To leave the country. It's very difficult. The feeling must be really frustrating. You can't do anything for it.
Yeah, I heard stories. I don't remember where, but that girls were like creating little small classes in like secret places to study. And like I think they usually do that, but it's like really dangerous because if they are discovered, they are all dead. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. And yeah, I would try to learn by myself the way possible. And I don't know, try to leave the country too. I think I'll do the same. because it's a difficult situation. And Malala, by the way, she was lucky because she was like shot it, a gun was in her head, and like she's alive, but she could be not, like she couldn't, so
Yes, and she suffered a lot, even in a better period
yeah,
that things weren't so radical in her country. So
yeah,
it's I think it's really sad what's happening. It's crazy.
yeah. So Thais, what about you?
I think it's difficult to talk about it because we don't know how it is to live in this situation. So I think it's very difficult. I hope these girls can fight. I hope they have, be strong to fight. But I know that it's not easy. Fight against all country governments. I know they may be afraid, but what I think about it is the solution of keep small groups to try to learn together and to be together. I think this gives strength to them to fight, but I think it's difficult to say when we are not living the situation. So I can understand the girls that cannot fight, but I hope they can live in a better situation someday, and I hope they can fight.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Yeah. So Fernando, what about you? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. What do you think?
I think and how girls see the involvement that are not safe for them in their own countries can change the way they see the education and can change their only country policy. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, let's go to the next question. What's your opinion about child marriage and early pregnancy? Because like here we have the problem with the early pregnancy, but some countries they get married like at 11 or 12 or even younger. So what do you think about it, and how can it affect women education, like we talked about? Because they choose to do other stuff to take care of their home and to be a wife in some countries. So how can it affect their education in general? Let's discuss, guys. Let's start off with, I don't know, Lorena, what do you think?
I listened the podcast about this last week. The numbers of child marriage, they increased in the pandemic because of the economic situation, and we think it's very far from us in other countries, but Brazil, the numbers of child marriage are very high in some regions, like I don't know, Nordeste, um, in small cities that they don't have a lot of resource, and but it's far from our bubble. Yes, and but I think it's really bad, and it's a way that really impacts in women education, because the way they follow is to build a family, to take care of their children, to start some house responsibilities, and I think it's really the problem. It's sometimes the religion and the economic situation that when they are together, it 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 comes, I think. And you, Leandra, what's your opinion?
So I think in North it's more common have marriages in teenager and the kids, and I think it's the culture, but I think it's not good for the woman, because this is impacting your studies, your education, and your after then impact your professional life. Maybe she didn't have a professional life because do you have one children and maybe do you have the other after them, and I think so difficult, but is really common here, and maybe they change these about the education. Talking about the education, I think the education is the key for the change the situation. But yes, difficult, but maybe in the future is possible.
Yeah, I agree that in other regions of Brazil, this is more common. So yeah, you guys are right. And I just remember that in school I read some books, old books, and sometimes the boy was like 40 and the girl was like 17 or 16 or 15 here in Brazil. So it's like I was like, what? But like in the past, it was more common than nowadays, even though we see it in other regions like you guys talked about, and like it's more common than we think. And I just remember that in the past was like really really common. I don't know, it's a cultural thing like we talked about, and it's like changing a bit, but it's still not 100%, but it's changing. So I don't know if that's great. Thais, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree with you that this child marriage are not so far from Brazil. Of course, the numbers are higher in different countries and cultures, but I think we need to discuss more about it, thinking about Brazil, about different regions and small cities, for example, as all of you said before. And also, I think it's important to talk about pregnancy and access to education to these girls that become pregnant on the, I don't know, when they are still young. And sometimes they just leave the school because it's difficult to keep the education when you have a child. The other point is that the society don't give opportunities to mothers. We have also this problem. So even not talking about teenagers, but when we are talking about young adults like 17, 18, 19, they still want to continue the education for graduation courses or anything like that. And a lot of times there's no this opportunity because they need to take care of child and everything. They are more stimulated to get married and have children and everything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally. So Fernanda, what about you? What's your opinion?
I think this is very bad because this they are should be pay and study, and this is affect their future a lot because they are pregnant and they have nothing.
So let's continue. The first question is, until the beginning of the 12th century in Brazil, female education was still and what's your view about it? I was frozen again. What's your what's your view about it?
Can we start answering?
Go, Thais.
So I think this is not only a problem from the beginning of the 20th century. I think it is still a real problem nowadays. And I think it's a... Sorry, Luana? I think she's trying to talk.
She's trying. She never gives up.
Okay, so I will continue. And I think this is a big problem
because like I said.
Oh, she left now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will continue until she comes back. So I think this is a big problem because, as I said before, these girls are stimulated to focus on domestic things and taking care of their families, and the school and education just are keep it aside. So I think this is a problem nowadays, not only in the beginning of the 20th century. So what about you, Lorena?
I agree with you. I think we are having some advance. I don't know if it's the word. We are getting better with this topic, but it is still a problem. And especially, I'm from a really small city in Minas, and they sometimes don't agree with my choice to live. I was living in São Paulo, for example, and my family sometimes think that I'm very crazy. My old aunts, for example, that are really traditional. So we still face it, but we are getting better. I think it's a long process, and we will suffer a lot yet, I think. And you, Leandra, what's your opinion?
I think the situation is about the history of Brazilian history is talking about the, let me see the word correctly, patriarchy or sexism. And yes, in the long time you have this, and it changed a little bit, but now and I have so many problems about this. I think in the past, and so many families, and I don't know. I think yes, I have a girl, a daughter, and I have a boy, a son, but in the same family, but the boy doesn't do the same things the girl. The girl are the housework, no, homework. I forgot housework, and the boy, no, why? In, why not? I think this is a process and change, but I think the more education and more discussing about this. And yeah, I think now women in Brazil have so many goals about the changes. Now we have education and the opportunities to study in better schools, better university than the past, but so more to do about this. And I think Lorena said about the I don't know, exact sciences is not so common. Do you know women's? But I think this is about did you have a change for girls knowing about the sciences, and maybe these processes started in elementary school, and the higher for the others is this a process? And why women's only in the human sciences? Why is a woman is capacitated for everything? I think the Brazil have prejudice about this is for girls, this is for men, and I think it's not correctly. Maybe the woman didn't have the same force about the man, but do you have knowledge? Do you have practice? Do you do anything?
So guys, who didn't answer? Everyone answered? Or
I think Fernanda.
Fernanda, yeah.
Hi. Can you answer?
I think the division of woman and that's time is different. That division of woman have the then time because woman that time have to domestic, and now we see the woman are more than a little cook and take care of the children. I think this division are changing. The women are more are there are most opportunities for women than it's specifically when internet. Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry, Luana. I
Yeah.
thought about an example. When I was a PhD student at the Federal University of Rio, like a big city, and I had a colleague. She was a woman, and she got married. And she every day was like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I cannot do anything because I'm so tired." And I was like, "Why are you this way?" And she was complaining because her husband just doesn't nothing in the house. Like she had to do everything, and cooking and cleaning and everything, even cleaning his clothes. And her PhD was he just take the PhD aside because she was so tired about all those things. So this is a situation when we have a different level of education, and women are still suffering with another barrier, So this is still a reality for us.
yeah.
And if this woman becomes a mother, things will get worse because she will have more work and the father probably won't help.
Exactly.
So yeah, I agree because like this question was like in the past they usually like went to school but not to study like boys. They used to study like housework. So it was like am I going to school? So but I think that it doesn't matter because even though they study like boys, it's an advance, but still like you guys talked about, we still have to worry about other stuff. So it's really difficult. And yeah, I think I'll put people back in the main room. Let me close the rooms. And while they don't come back, the seventh question, how can gender stereotypes affect a girl to go after what she wants in general? Can you guys talk about it? I don't know. Leandra, can you start?
Oh my gosh. I think the stereotype is maybe the girl didn't have other person in the, I don't know in English, incentivar. Maybe this girl absent your dreams, your goals, because it depends the situation this girl. So I don't know, for example, these girls think about I can pilot, and this in Brazil for woman I think so difficult, and she didn't have incentive. I think it's not the good question or the good word for this, but it is didn't happen this for girl, and it's so difficult. But yeah, in Brazil it's so really about the stereotypes about the women didn't do this or didn't do that. It's so common. I think the other country is different. the woman have more possibilities about you doing your professional.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, Ana Laura, we are in the 7th question, and I'm gonna ask you, girl, because you were in the other room. And in the main room, there were only girls here, so we discussed a lot. And I'm gonna ask you, how can gender stereotypes affect a girl to go after what she wants? In general, what do you think about it?
So we are just talking about this question on the other room. So as I was saying there, gender stereotypes totally affect a girl because when we were kids, we are much more how can I say influenciable. I don't know how to say in English, but and all the plays we do, and generally they are separated, you know, the girls play of something and the boys plays another something, and then probably it would affect the profession that they will choose in the future. And I was sharing with the guys on the other room that I saw a great news, a great report on the news that, you know, Mattel, the brand that produced Barbie, you know, so they just released a model of a Barbie that was inspired and represents a scientist, the head of a lab on the Oxford University that produced the AstraZeneca vaccine, you know, and the scientist, I saw her interview, and she was really glad because she believes that if the girls would start to playing with a Barbie that is a scientist, maybe should influence them to follow this career, you know?
Yeah, I love that, because in the past we didn't see it. It was like they were all dolls that take care of their children. So it wasn't like that. So I think that's new and that's awesome. So, Eito, what did you think about the conversation? Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It was amazing to discuss about that hot topic, and especially consider our country. Things have changed in our country, but there's always some there are always some ways to be improved, you know, especially related to the human, the educational system at all, you know. And it was good. It was a huge opportunity to know about the views of my colleagues.
So, yeah, guys, I think that's it. It's already time to go. So thank you guys for coming today. I hope I see you guys on next meetings, on other meetings. And yeah, thank you guys. Nice to see you here. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.